All right, guys. So before we start with today's topic, let me introduce or just give a very brief about myself. So my name is Shiva. I'm having a total of 12 years of experience in IT. For the first 2 years, I have been working with infrastructure monitoring, network device monitoring, application monitoring. So all this kind of observability and monitoring stuff. And later, I have total of 8 years complete experience into Splunk, which is having administration and development part. Right now, I'm working as a Splunk architect in an MNC. Okay, so into the training, I have 4 years of experience. I have around 100 to 150 people trained all over the world. Like I have clients from, we have clients from US, India, Qatar, some few of the Gulf countries, and also Thailand. Yeah, that's a quick intro about myself. Okay, so today we will discuss about what is Splunk, why do we use Splunk, and how would be the careers at Splunk. So some of you may be already working with Splunk. So then for you guys, maybe you already aware of Splunk, but I'll try to put more insights into what is Splunk about and all. Also, why should we use Splunk when we have a lot of other platforms or tools available for this monitoring or observability or business insights things. So we will discuss that in detail. Okay. So first of all, what is Splunk? Splunk is a platform for collecting data, searching, analyzing, and visualizing machine-generated data in real time. So what is called a machine? Is a machine could be server, physical server or virtual machine, or if you are having AWS, IBM Cloud, GCP Cloud, or any other thing, or if you are having a Wi-Fi router in your home network, switch, router, or any firewall device or a Fi device, all those kind of devices, or you can also collect from data from your mobile devices, and you can also collect data from IoT devices. IoT devices, for example, so we can say one example. You may be having Amazon bulbs, smart bulbs, where you can control the brightness from your using your mobile. So nowadays we are having those kind of advanced switches. So you from those kind of devices also we can collect data and monitor it using the Splunk. Splunk is capable of collecting data from IoT devices also. And serverless. So for serverless, the few examples are like if you are having a Docker container, for example, and if you want to collect data from REST APIs, like for APIs, the best example is we can collect data from ServiceNow and all those things. So from all these kind of machines, you can collect data. Okay, so which means Splunk is covering almost everything where you can collect data from. So after collecting, searching, analyzing, visualizing, what are we trying to achieve here? We are trying to achieve some is insights into your operations, security, and customer behavior. So what is an operation? Operation, in simple terms, we can say if you are having if you are having 1,000 servers in your environment, okay, if you would like to monitor the health of that, you are to monitor the operations of those things like CPU, memory, what is the disk space available, at what times is it going to shut down. So all this kind of C drive, D drive. So all this kind of operation stuff, you can get a very, insights into your operations. The second thing is security. Security means if there is any anomaly detection happening, how many people are going to log into your system, how many people with admin privileges are trying to log in. If somebody is trying to perform some admin, admin activities like such as like sudo access. You might have heard about a sudo command. So if somebody is trying to perform some sudo action on any server, which is suspicious, so those kind of things you can come to know using the Splunk, and customer behavior. So customer behavior and all those things. So based on the data, what we are getting, for example, there is a customer transaction trends to offer personalized products. That's the basically example I have given here. So let's say if you are working for a banking project. So based on how the customer is spending, what amount of uh, spends he is doing on his credit card. So based on that, maybe you can increase the limit of that particular customer. So you can also understand the behavior of him. Or if somebody is, let's say, if you're working for a telecom client, so if somebody is trying to port from your network to another network, so what is wrong with him? So can we go and to check his last 1 month data if he tried to reach out to customer care, or if he had any issues when using your provider. So all those kind of behaviors we can understand, and we can, gain more insights, and we can save our business. So these kind of all insights we can perform. It is not just operations. Operations means most of the people think Splunk is a monitoring tool. No, it is not. We prefer to call it as a platform. We don't prefer to call it as tool, ideally. And also it is not just for monitoring. It is having a lot of additional features also to monitor security, and also it is having AI and ML to give us more insights. We will discuss that more in the next slide. Okay. So it is not, we don't call Splunk as a tool. Okay. We call it as a platform. So provides centralized monitoring, troubleshooting, and investigating. So here two things. So first thing is you can collect all kind of data, such as you can collect logs, events, metrics. So what is the difference between event and metrics? I don't think it's the right time to go in depth into it. So for example, let's say if you are collecting CPU usage from a Windows server, so that could be sending CPU and just the value. So those kind of things in a matrix format, we can say like metrics. So event is a complete event, like, okay, Siva has logged into Unix 1 on this particular time. So this entire thing is called an event. So it is telling you some story that this is happened and this is the time. So these kind of things are called events. So Splunk can collect all those kind of events or metrics or different kind of logs, and personalized central monitoring. So this is more important when it comes to Splunk. Why? So if I tell you an example, you might have heard of IBM QRadar. So IBM QRadar is mostly focused on the security side of data, because they build the tool or they build the platform for only security. So when you go for Power BI the name itself says it is mainly focused on the business. Power BI. So it will get data from external resources, and it will do some insights on the data. So when you are running an organization and you have some business data, you have security data, you have operations data. So what is the solution? You go into the market and say, okay, I need some tool, I need some platform for business. I'll go and choose Power BI. For security, I'll go and buy IBM Credar. For operations, I'll go and buy some SolarWinds Orion or Grafana or any other thing, any other platform or any other tool that is available outside. So you are actually buying three different products. But when it comes to Splunk is having all the capabilities to provide the operation security, uh, observability, AI and ML, a lot of advanced features. So you can just buy one product, which is Splunk, and you have all these different kinds of data in Splunk. So which is centralized. You don't have to run to different products. Okay, any questions on this slide?
Hi sir, this is Sheikh Ishar. Actually, we are starting a Splunk development demo now. So I have a few idea about Splunk. Actually, I thought that Splunk is used for CRMs and API application programming interface. So it is after listening your session, it is not only for CRM and API. You are telling about security purpose and developing platform.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
it is only for CRM and API. Otherwise, we will use this Splunk platform for various platforms and various tooling operations.
So Splunk is actually having almost 100 products with them. For example, Splunk Enterprise Security, which is only focused on security side of it. So what it does is, let's say nowadays there are new scams, new kind of attacks are coming. There are new ways how hackers are trying to get our data. So what they'll do is every day they will be updating their Splunk Enterprise Security app with advanced, okay, there is a new hack in the market, how you prevent your data from these things. So that advanced features Splunk Enterprise Security having. There is one more product called Splunk IT Service Intelligence, which uses AI and ML for advanced features. So they are having so many products for different purposes.
Okay.
Yeah. So based on what is the use you are trying to choose Splunk, you need to choose the product. There are dedicated product for Splunk UBA. UBA is for user behavior analytics. So, but on all for all these 100 products, Splunk Enterprise is the base. That is the most important thing which relies at the ground. On top of Splunk Enterprise only, you will be installing all these other whatever the extra products you are having. So as part of this training, we will be discussing about Splunk Enterprise. Okay, moving on. So why Splunk? I think I covered few of them in the earlier slide. So versatility, Splunk handle logs and metrics to structured and unstructured data. So if you are having structured data, and few of the monitoring tools or platforms might not be able to extract if the data is unstructured, but using the Splunk we can ingest both the structured and unstructured data. So for unstructured and structured, what is the difference? A very basic example, you might have seen CSV file. CSV file means comma delimited, right? So you will be having after name, comma, number, comma, employee, something like that. So maybe so for example, name, number, email. So here name 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So you have three values like this, and everywhere the comma is the delimiter. So this will be considered as header. So this is how we do basic CSV files, even if we are doing our education or even if we are working professional. So you know this format very. So this is properly structured. So if you upload this kind of files, it can understand, okay, whatever is there, this is called one particular column and these are the values. So even if your data is not structured, not delimited properly, using the regular expression and any other ways, you can properly extract that data in Splunk. Okay, so you can work with unstructured data. It is not just structured data what you Splunk will be dealing with. So real-time insights, Splunk provides, very real-time. It is not even nearly real-time. So for example, you're collecting data from cloud. Okay, so you're collecting data from a virtual machine in Azure cloud. Okay, as soon as there is something changed within the next second, whenever you are collecting your data in Splunk, it will be immediately changed or showing in your dashboard or the query you are running. So it doesn't take time for to collect data. As soon as something changes there, and it will be Splunk will be collecting it in near and not near real time. So in that case, if you are actually collecting data for some very critical applications or critical servers, so you will not be having any loss. Scalability, Splunk is highly scalable capable. So if let's say right now you are monitoring or you're ingesting 100 GB of data into Splunk today, and tomorrow your business has grown a lot and you want to double your uh, infrastructure and you are going to get 200 GB of data, exactly the double amount. So how you can scale Splunk? You don't have to worry more about it because you can add more servers into the Splunk cluster, and it's a pretty easy way how you can scale. Okay, and Splunk is capable of loading, even if you are having millions of trillions of events there, you can quickly run them and see with a very in a quick way. If you are loading million records and you want to do some calculation, you can do that very quickly. Splunk is capable of doing that in a quick way, even with massive data. So ease of use. So this is main thing when we are working as developer or somebody working with Splunk as an admin, or even if you are an end user using the Splunk interface for your dashboards, reports, or for any other purpose. So the Splunk's user interface is structured very easily, and even a layman who can come to Splunk console can understand, okay, I can see dashboards option here or all the options, not just the dashboard option. So everything in the Splunk UI is easily manageable. Okay, so what happens when it is easy and powerful is, so even for a developer who is going to learn Splunk, if it is easy and also at the same time it is going to be powerful, so there will be more resource. There will be people who can learn it easily. So there will be more resources, and at the same time, organizations also from their perspective, they can also utilize use it easily. If developers are going to build some complex reports, dashboards, alerts, and when we hand it over to the customer, they should also be able to understand it easily. So what I mean to say is, if you are having if you think about some other platforms, so it might be difficult for you to choose, search for option. Okay, where is this particular setting? I am not able to find. But when it comes to Splunk, you have everything in a structured way. You can understand or navigate to the options on the UI very easily. Powerful SPL means, so when it comes to Splunk, how we search and analyze data is using SPL. So some people call it Splunk processing language, but some people call it search processing language. So we use those SPL queries. We don't queries. So most of the people may be asking, okay, you are telling me that Splunk developer, I have zero coding knowledge. You don't have to worry anything about programming. We are not doing any programming here. We are going to learn something like SQL queries in your terminology. If you are familiar, if you are heard of SQL databases, you will be writing queries, right? So those kind of queries you will be writing with SPL. Okay, that is Splunk processing language as search processing language. So there will be commands, there will be functions which you can leverage and load the data, and that commands and functions are very powerful, and uh, there are almost a function or command available for all your purposes. So you there is no function that let's say for example, if you are trying to pull only some specific part of all your data. So using the SPL, you can do that very easily. It's not so hard to learn the SPL. Extensive documentation for all the queries, for all the admin activities, or for all the developer activities. Even for us, if you have a small topic, Splunk is having very basic to advanced explanation along with examples in their official documentation. So if in case if you ran into some issue and nobody is trying to help you there with that question, so you can simply go to Splunk documentation. You can go through, okay, what does this configuration file means? How do I create a dashboard with this issue? So in that Splunk documentation, you can find it very easily. And apps and add-ons, this is a very important when you have when you are using some other platforms or other tools, and you want to collect data from any of the cloud services, or if you want to collect data from any SAP or any other third party vendors. So Splunk is having almost solution for all the third party providers, like either it is cloud or sub SaaS, like SAP. Let's say if you want to integrate it with ServiceNow, if you want to collect the data from databases directly, we can use something called Splunk DB Connect. Or if you want to collect data from Cisco, you know, you have a lot of connectors available to connect with any other third party vendor. So when you have a lot of apps and add-ons, what is the benefit to you? So if I'm going to collect data from AWS cloud, ideally what I have to do, I have to write some scripts. I should have basic knowledge about that particular cloud. How can I connect it with this cloud? So you don't have to worry anything about all the scripts and all, because you have apps and add-ons available. What you have to do is you have to go install that particular add-on, and you will just go to the documentation, and what you just need is you need to go to that particular team, third party team, that hey, I have this add-on installed in my Splunk. I need to collect your data. So you just need authentication details. Rest of the things are already configured in your Splunk app or add-on. So that makes your life easier to get the data very quickly. If you are able to install that app or add-on in 1 hour, that's it. Within 1 hour, you're able to collect data. And how it helps the customer? The customer got bought a new cloud or new service now and anything, and he also want to get the data quickly into Splunk. And if there is no app or add-on available, then what he has to do? He has to hire a Python developer or Java developer or anybody who is having the knowledge and programming and as well as cloud and all those things. So it is going to waste his time and our time. So if there are apps and add-ons available, then the customer is also able to get the data within 1 hour. So it's a win-win situation for whoever is working at the ground like us and the customer. So what is so this point makes customers also to choose Splunk, and for us also it will be easy to use Splunk. So that's what ease of use means in everybody's perspective. Okay, so security and compliance, Splunk offers robust security features. So when Splunk is collecting the data, all the data is encrypted. You cannot copy one particular file and put it in your local computer, and you will not be able to read any of those kind of data what Splunk has uh, collected. Only Splunk will be able to read that kind of data because it encrypts it in its own format. And auditing, including role-based access control. So we have role-based access control in Splunk. Role-based access control means so the privileges are controlled on roles, not on the username. So you have role-based access control, which will gives you more control on each and every user using the roles. SAML and LDAP authentication are also available. So ideally, what we will be doing is we will be going to Splunk. There, we will try to create users and give password to our friend. Or that is how we usually do. And later we might forget or something like that. So the organizations nowadays security is everything because we don't know how attackers are going to come in which way. So that is why they use LDAP and SAML authentications. So all the roles and everything, even how you log in, the way you log in also will be controlled using this type of authentications. So you don't even have to enter the password. So for example, if you are trying to log into your company portal, and from that company portal, you will be able to open the payslip application directly because you already logged into the main portal of your company. So that is called single sign-on. So I mean, you are already authenticated into your main portal. So that will be actually passed to your payslip portal or any other application you are opening from your main portal. So in the same way, when you are trying to use LDAP SAML authentication, trying to log into Splunk, so it will check your authentication already if he has logged into that or not, then you will be logged in. So this will save you like if somebody has stolen your passwords and all those kind of stuff, nothing is going to happen. He cannot log into your Splunk system. So there is also duo multi-factor authentication. You can use geo authentication or RSA multi-factor. So these two multi-factors are also available. If you think that your data that is in Splunk is more secure and you don't want anybody else to enter with unless they verified it 2 times using multi-factor, you can still enable that. Okay. So machine learning and AI. So Splunk's inbuilt ML and AI can automate data analysis, detect anomalies, and predict. So there are just 2 to 3 things I have mentioned here. So it nowadays you are able to you can hear everybody using Gen AIs, AI and ML. So but it is not Splunk recently introduced this ML and AI and these advanced features. So this is way back before we were hearing the AI and ML word. There is something called Splunk Enterprise Security and also Splunk IT Service Intelligence, Splunk Observability. There are different products for advanced features where AI and ML are used. So, and for examples, if I want to tell you that what does that advanced means using the AI and ML, so you can do the detect anomalies. So based on the log data that is coming into your Splunk, so if there is anything suspicious that is going to happen than the usual behavior, let's say if when one network router is sending 10 logs every minute, all of a sudden if you see a spike or if you see some unusual activity like usually one employee should is logging in from India. So if you see that particular employee's IP address responding from different countries, so all these kind of things it can automatically analyze and detect the anomalies. Okay. And one more thing is predict. Predict is something, um, let's say you are going to have you are going to if we take this Amazon or Flipkart as an example, and you are going to have a sale in the next 2 weeks, so you have to prepare everything ready for it. And so based on last year's sale, what you can do is you can put this predict feature on the Splunk. So what it can do is, okay, as I compare to the last year's data, for now it is going smooth. And what it can do is if something is going wrong, Splunk can tell you, okay, as per the history, I can see your Flipkart server might go down in the next 1 hour. So please go and check this database, because last time it happened with the database going to this spike. So it happened, or maybe CPU. So based on the last week data or last month data, last year data, whatever you give in your settings, it can predict what might going to happen. So these are all the things Splunk can achieve using this thing. So community and ecosystem. So Splunk has vibrant community of users and developers. So if you go and search for some doubts or some issues you are facing in Splunk, you will be seeing community.splunk.com. So there will be a lot of people like us. If I'm working for a Splunk, so what I can do, I can simply log into Splunk community portal and I can answer to somebody if whoever is posting it. It is just like Stack Overflow. So you have a very big number of people in this community. So if you are having any questions, you can post there, and there are a lot of people who you know answering your question there. So what it helps is if you are unable to find something in Google or ChatGPT or Gemini or any other places, or you are unable to find it in YouTube also, you are unable to find the exact issue in documentation also, then you can put everything exactly same in your community.splunk.com. So you will somebody will try to help you there, somebody like us. So you have all the ways to achieve something if you are stuck somewhere. So So this is the conclusion for this slide, like Splunk's versatility, real-time insight, scalability, ease of use, advanced analytical capabilities, security features, thriving community make it a great choice compared to other tools. If it applicable both for customer, and if customer is more interested in choosing Splunk, then obviously they need resources. So then it is a good choice for us as well. Any questions on this slide? I think it was a pretty big slide. Please let me know if you are having any questions, because this is the most important slide why we are going to choose Splunk among the all other platforms or other tools. Okay, I think everybody is good. That's great. So careers at Splunk, this, of course, this is the most interesting slide you might be looking for, right? So how, what if we choose Splunk as my career? I'm having 8 years of experience. I'm having 12 years of experience in IT. Right now, I'm going to choose Splunk after all my 12 years without Splunk. So is it going to be okay? I'm having just 1 year of experience. Is Splunk a good choice for me to choose? So I have explained why you can choose Splunk, and maybe this will give you a little more clarity about the careers that you are going to choose Splunk as. So, Cisco company has recently in the sense March 2024. It's not so recent, but it's recent. So it has bought Splunk for $28 billion. That is one of the huge acquisition happened in IT industry ever. $28 billion is not a small amount. So now Cisco is also having one platform called App Dynamics. Okay. So now App Dynamics and Splunk are both under Cisco. So that Splunk and App Dynamics are more powerful now because they are together. If there is any feature that is in App Dynamics, Splunk can leverage that. If there is any feature that Splunk is having with App Dynamics, it can leverage. So there is there are double openings, double opportunities open for Splunk after Cisco has acquired it. So you will be there will be openings for Splunk admin, developer, and an architect. Architect means if you are an admin and developer, then you will be called as an architect, and you're okay. So the demand for Splunk is rapidly growing because Splunk is, as we discussed, why we use Splunk. Along with that, Cisco also has acquired it. So It is going to be more powerful in coming days. So organizations seeking professionals with Splunk expertise to drive operations, observability, business, security. So like earlier, we are not just limiting to monitoring. Nowadays, everybody is interested in the observability. So what is the difference between observability and monitoring is, in a simple terms, if you are monitoring, if you are having a server, for example, you are having CPU, disk space, memory use, RAM, all these four factors. When it comes to monitoring, you can go and monitor CPU separately, disk space separately, like that. When it comes to observability, a Splunk can look all of those values at the same time, and it will tell you the root cause was when CPU down actually. So when the CPU down, then the other issues also started spiking and your server got shut down. So observability gives you very advanced insights like this. Okay. So nowadays we are tracking each and every tiny information in all the organization. Even if you are, you know, even if you are going to a small shop nowadays, they are collecting your mobile number. They are putting some data. They are storing all the data, whatever is required. So data is everything now. So that's why there are more organizations using these platforms for data. So obviously the opportunities are growing. Okay. So when you learn Splunk, these are the, basically roles that are open, like data analyst, business intelligence analyst, data scientist, IT operations analyst, security analyst, SOC analyst, incident responder, security engineer. The second row which I have mentioned here is more about security side of Splunk. If you are having all this Splunk enterprise knowledge and you are also having cyber security knowledge, then these are the roles you will be it will be open for. Any questions on this slide?
No questions as of now.
That's great. Okay, so yeah, this is just a very basic architecture I wanted to show you guys. Like, okay, if I'm going to work with Splunk, how it will be. So you will be having, you can collect data from almost everywhere. So I am just showing like this, whatever the data from wherever you can collect data. You can collect data from no databases directly, Windows Server, Linux Server, cloud, mobile devices, firewall devices, network devices, doc. Excuse me. Docker, or you can collect data from applications directly, APIs, and also any. Excuse me. So you can collect also data from IoT devices. So these are all where you can collect data and directly send. If there is something called small agent, universal forwarder agent, we call it. So it's a lightweight agent of around 40 to 50 MB, which the memory of it. If wherever you can install Splunk Universal Forwarder, for example, only in servers, in Windows Server, Linux Server, Mac Server, or any Ubuntu server you are having, on those servers, you can install this Universal Forwarder agent. What it will be doing is it will be simply collecting the data and send it to indexer. Indexer is a component in Splunk. What it will be doing is it will be collecting the data. It will be storing the data in it. So you don't have to maintain any separate database when you are using Splunk. Indexer works like the database. You don't use the term database, but to make you understand, it also stores the data. So it means like it works as a database as well. So, and any other information and any other things, if you want to do in indexer, you can do any other things like, for example, you are having a phone number or address, or you have some credit card information in your log data, and you don't want that to be showcased when you are trying, when you are searching or showing in the dashboard. So using the in the indexer, you can mask those data. You can mask that sensitive information like XXX you can be seeing when you receive messages, right? So like that you can do in the indexer advanced. After that, and once you have everything ready and stored here, there will be a search head where everybody will be sitting, like creating dashboards, reports, alerts, everything, all those kind of work will be done at the search head. This is just a very basic
Okay.
architecture to bring these components to your notice.
Okay, sir. If we are doing any operation in the indexer means you can hide overall the data, otherwise specific data, sir.
Can you come again, please?
If we are doing any changes or modification in indexer, it can hide the overall data, otherwise specific data which we want.
Yeah, we can use regular expression, and whatever the specific piece of information we want we can hide only that. For example, if you are having, so you have this, if you only want to mask this particular information, you can do that like that. Okay. 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 Any questions on this slide?
No, Shiva.
So after indexer, you didn't discuss about search head.
Search head is where you will be creating all the dashboards, reports, alerts. This is the user interface for everybody, a developer or whoever is using the end user. Search head is the UI for you. These are all things will be working in the backend. Search head is the UI.
Okay.
Shiva, deployment head also covers in search head or like
Deployment.
deployment head also one a part in that in
The-
the architecture. I have seen lots of diagrams.
Uh, yeah, I mean, this is uh, the day one, so I just wanted to show only the basic components.
Okay, okay, okay.
So to manage universal forwarders, we use deployment server. That will be coming when we are expanding our indexer members, indexer cluster, all those things. So
Okay,
I don't want it to bring all of them on the day one itself.
fine, fine, fine. No issue.
Yeah, but we will cover that on the Splunk admin essentials, which is the day 20, I guess.
Okay,
As a develop After working as a developer, after learning everything from the developer, we need some very basic things like what are the components available all, and what are their functionalities. At least even if you don't know how to configure them, we should at least know like what is the use of deployment server or any these things in detail. We can discuss in that in the admin essentials.
right, got it.
If there are no questions here, I will move on. So this is some of the salaries I have got from the Google. You can also just check, go to Naukri, LinkedIn, Google, anywhere or any other sites like Glassdoor or anywhere else. You can check the salaries. These salaries are as per Indian salaries. I have not considered any other countries basically to give an idea. So for around 0 to 2 years of experience, folks will be getting this salary for 2 years. So they are actually ready to pay very good amount of salaries if you are really good with Splunk. Nobody is hesitant to pay if you are having really good at something. So why they are ready to pay? So a very basic example, I would say, if you are a Java developer or there are a lot of people available for if you are using C++. plus plus. So once upon a time, C++ plus plus or C developer were very rare. I mean, and also that was very, how can I tell? Mm, very unique skill, I can say. So now, when it comes to now, there is a lot of opportunities open. There are a lot of job openings. Okay, so which means there is lot of scope and lot of openings available. So when there are a lot of openings available, they are okay to offer any amount of salary if you are really good at something. I mean, Splunk here. So some people may be thinking that okay, Java developer could be earning this much. Why can somebody with just no? This looks like a Splunk is just one platform. It is not a core like Java or a Selenium or something like that. So when you are really if you are really good at Splunk, okay, so you are actually open to opportunities like you are in the area of operations monitoring, observability, or AI and ML. You are in all this kind of tech. You are utilizing all this kind of technologies, and you are actually somebody who is called data analyst or data scientist. You are actually at a very big role. Okay, so there is demand and supply. You can say there are a lot of there is lots of demand for data analysts now. So there are a lot of openings also for Splunk. And if you go and search for any other platforms also, how the openings are there for other platforms compared to Splunk. So you will get a very basic idea if is it good to choose Splunk or not. I bet you don't find any other platforms where there are a lot of openings compared to Splunk. If there are any, you can please let me know. I'll check and let you know why is that. If no questions, I think we are good to close the call for today. Any questions on previous slides or this slide? Please feel free to ask.
Shiva,
Yes, please.
you said we'll be using SQL queries, right, to get the data from like
Uh,
basically.
SP, it is P, Splunk Processing Language. This is not at all related to SQL queries.
Okay,
So I brought that sentence just because we will be writing queries to pull the data. So
okay,
SQL is to pull the data for SQL databases, but it will be more easy compared to SQL.
okay.
So there are few important commands and few functions. If you learn that, you just need some analytical knowledge how to understand the requirement, and based on that you have to analyze the data. That is the only main thing you will be needing. Learning SPL is very easy.
Is any
Hello.
languages is used in this Splunk?
Sorry?
Is any coding languages will be used in this Splunk platform?
No, as if you learn Python or something, I think yeah, there are ways where you can automate some things. You can add
Yeah.
it as an additional skill set on top of Splunk.
o-
You can do that.
Okay.
Someone else was also asking something.
Hello.
Yes,
This is Radhika. I
I
have a
right.
small doubt about Splunk. Shall I ask?
Yes, please go ahead.
This is based on comments or queries. Any idea of that?
So, can you tell me an example for command?
Comments means like you said name, employees, like that. Something you explained
So,
starting of.
yeah, that is actually this is I explained this is a data. This is data we are collecting. So we write queries to extract data inside the Splunk. We write queries.
Okay.
So for example, if you want to calculate the maximum of particular number, you will do max function, which this is available in Splunk. Okay. You will
Huh.
use max function like this. You will be having it is not tough as programming language. There will be just few commands and functions like I shown you, right? So there will be commands and functions to learn SPL.
Okay.
So I'll not teach everything on the day one itself. I mean, for every command and for every command we have dedicated class. So you don't have to worry a lot about it. We will be walking with them with very clear explanation, so you will understand.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, any other questions?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, you guys can call me Shiva, please. Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, please provide daily sessions in group, sir.
Yeah, sure. And your good name, please?
Sir, Manish, sir.
Okay, Manish. Okay, Manish. Please call me Shiva Manish, sir.
Okay, sir. Like anyone, anyone missing, they will be able to
Yes,
reach out.
sir. Yes, sir. We will do that, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so here, just the developer responsibilities. So when you go into these Splunk classes, then you will be able to understand. But I have just kept it here for handy. Like you are responsible for onboarding the data and extracting the fields. Okay, search query development, which means writing the SPL queries, dashboards, alerts, reports, field extractions using the regular expression. Okay, so advanced search processing language means again the SPL. Okay, creating knowledge objects. So these are some roles which I have pointed here. If you go for any job description of any of the openings, so you might be able to you might see these things. So I hope you are having the curriculum for our training. All right. I think we are good to close the call for today. Thanks everybody.
Yeah, thanks, Shiva.
You're welcome. If you are okay to join from tomorrow, you can ping
Yeah, I'll update you
Nirisha
Shiva in
or you
evening.
can directly ping me. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Have a good day, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you so
Nice
much.
talking to
Have
you
a
all.
great day.
So much.